I try to find out what it is you're lacking in your life. We all have gifts and talents that we're not utilizing effectively. And when I speak to young people such as yourself and some of the adults here, they can't seem to figure out how to begin that process. And that's where I come in. Because I know each and every one of us in this room were born to succeed. We were born to succeed. But people don't tell us that. Because, and you tend to listen to others tell you who you are. I always say, never let someone define your character. That's your responsibility. And so when I speak to people who are either trying to find what it is that they have within themselves, they're conflicted most of the time. Some of you here have 9 to 5. Well, I was in a 9 to 5. I was fired about 3 weeks ago. And it was the most happiest moment of my life. And my goal was either I am going to fire them or they're going to fire me. Well, they fired me first, but it's all right. Now, 5 years ago, I would have probably sobbed and cried and says, oh my God, I have to find another job. But I have my plan B. So for me, it was just a joyous occasion. You know, I went back to my job to pick up some final belongings, and my coworkers was like, why is she so happy? I said, because when you get into my mindset, you'll understand. And so tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I just love my life. I just love that you're part of my life now. And you know, today you're going to hear from some people that have been living their dreams. And they just want the same for each and every one of you. You know? And you know, with the CABC, when I travel and meet people, they say, Sebrena, really what got you started? Well, one day I was at a networking event just like this one, and they asked us to give our business cards, and I didn't have one. And I asked them, I said, well, how do I get a business card? And she said, girl, you need a business. So at the time, the myth was you thought you need thousands of dollars to start a business. Well, there was something called network marketing. Didn't know what that was. And 2 years later, Avon was my very first business. $10, that's all. And I'm going to tell you something. The word sales and salespeople and those kinds of things kind of frighten me like some people. But I remember the Avon lady came to my home. She sat me down, and those pretty little catalogs that you all are familiar with, she handed them to me and she said, Sebrena, all you need is $50 worth of sales, and you're well on your way. And I said, okay. But I was afraid. And something told me to still try it. You know, many a times we get these opportunities and we're afraid. And we fail before we even start the process. Because our mindset is thinking, oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to sell anything. But what you fail to realize, every day you sell something, you're just not rewarded financially for it. So I said, I'm going to take the books to work and see what it does. But I said, you know what, she probably won't know because I'll probably buy $50 worth myself and she'll never know. But a little voice told me to still listen to her, and I did that. I took those catalogs to work and laid it on the cafeteria and the bathrooms and so on. And I'm going to tell you all something. I went to lunch and came back. And in my email, all these orders. And when I totaled up my order, it was $350. Not 50, but $350. Now, what do you think I did after that?
Went shopping.
Did you think I quit? Or I was afraid? Oh no. I was well on my way. I actually became what they call the president accolade they give you within a year. I sold over 10,000 in sales in 1 year. Mind you, here's a person that's afraid to approach people, didn't want to speak in front of people, and just flat out was about to just say, I'm going to buy all the stuff you'll never know. They knew me as the lady with the green Mercedes, Avon all over my car, riding down the streets. And I'm going to tell y'all something, it changed my life. Because I was doing my 9 to 5, I had Avon, but then here comes 2 other businesses, and I just was wrecking them up. You know, getting familiar with this business of giving back to myself. And then 2 years ago, I started my own company, the CABC. Members, some of our network members are in here today. And then I was blessed with a radio show. And when I say blessed, I didn't go seeking that. Someone gave it to me and said, you need to be on the air. And I was so afraid. She said, Sebrena, you speak in front of people, they listen to you. I want you to take this to the airwaves now. And so we've been on the air for a year. And here comes television offers and all these things. And I'm just saying that to say, people, some of you all are in college right now. I'm not sure what you think you're going to do when you get out, if there is something for you to do. But when you leave here today, I guarantee you will have something for you to do. And a lot of the people here started out with nothing. But because of hard work and determination, and knowing that they have something they want to share with the masses, you'll have access to that today. So I wanted to give you a little bit about me and where I am in my career, in my life, and how I'm changing lives here and abroad, and to introduce you as well to some of my mentors. Because one of the things you have to remember, whatever you get, you must share. Because there's other people out here looking for something. And if you have that, you must learn how to share those blessings. All right? So I want to bring up one of my mentors, Miss April Consula. And she's a former vice mayor, she's a singer, author, and she's been with me for about 2.5 years. And I'm going to tell you something. When I came in contact with April, I was being honored as one of the women here in Atlanta that you must know and do business with. And she told me something that kind of humbled me. In the room were millionaires, lots of women. I was just little old Sebrena. I accepted an award for Woman of the Year. And that's all she saw. And she saw my drive and what I wanted to do and extend this platform to others. And she told me that. She said, Sebrena, there were rich women in that room, powerful women. But something you said, and I came straight to you. And we missed each other with appointments. And then when she says, where do you work? Came to my job, took me to lunch. And of course, she's been in my life ever since. And I've introduced her to folks here in Atlanta. And I want her, for you to hear her story today. And that way you can see how people's lives are being changed by her and our next presenter tonight, later on, Mr. Rob Campbell. So I present to you my mentor, my friend, and I love her so much for just sticking there with me and hanging in there. April Consula.